Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. Disney has been all over the place the last couple of weeks, and Bob Iger really dropped some bombs on investors last week when he said that the company might partner or even possibly sell ESPN. It may sell cable networks and ABC. Basically, it seems like everything is on the table. We might see Disney as we know it break up as a company. So I want to go through exactly what he said and how we should be thinking about this, because I think there are some clear strategic moves that Disney is at least thinking about right now. And that may mean getting rid of some of the assets that it's held for a really long time. My name's Travis William. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content and check out my newsletter, Asymmetric Investing. In the show notes, I cover a lot of concepts that are going to go into this discussion here. So there's some good background there if you're looking into concepts like internet economics. I want to go through a few things that Iger discussed in an interview with CNBC last week. One is that Disney is looking for strategic partners for ESPN. Probably not going to sell ESPN. It sounds like Disney is still very interested in being in the sports business, but looking for strategic partners. So what does that mean? I'm going to come back to that in just a second because this relates to the cable business. He also said may sell ABC. What else do we know about ESPN? Well, we know that ESPN is coming directly to consumers probably sometime later this year. It sounds like he knows what the timetable is for that, but is not publicly announcing it. We also know that before the end of the year, the Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus apps are all going to be bundled into a single app. So there's going to be one place that consumers can go to get all of their Disney content. And then you get to the final thing. Iger said that he may be interested in selling ABC and Disney's cable assets. So they have a number of cable channels that they typically bundle together with ESPN to extract a ton of value from cable subscribers. This is not only the upfront fees that everybody pays for cable, you also get advertising in there. So this has been a phenomenal business for Disney for decades at this point. But cable is starting to die. Subscribers are dropping. The amount of pricing power that a lot of the cable companies have is really starting to diminish. And so what does Disney do with these assets? And I think the way to think about this is think about the distribution of content that Disney has. You have the production of content. So movie studios, TV studios, this is where Pixar and Lucasfilm, Marvel, even the content production of like NBA games and things like that. That's where that fits. It's actually creating content that people are producing. And then you have content going onto people's TVs. For decades, what we have had is the content producers, then they create a channel, then that channel gets bundled into cable, and then it actually ends up on somebody's TV. Those middle two pieces are essentially evaporating and just becoming a streaming service. And if you think about the way that streaming is playing out, I don't think we're going to have 15 or 20 streaming services. We're probably just going to have a couple. So who are those companies? Netflix is clearly one that's going to be around, but I think Disney is angling to be another one of those distributors. So it basically wants to sit in the middle. And the assets that Disney wants to own are either the production of content or the delivery of content through their streaming medium. So that means going direct to consumers with things like ESPN. What does a partnership look like? Well, I think a partnership is going to a company like Time Warner Discovery and saying, hey, you have NBA assets. You don't have a streaming service that is economically viable today. Just go onto our streaming service. Be a partner with us. They could do that with basketball, baseball, hockey, golf, USC, F1, all kinds of different sports. And ESPN could be the place where all these sports get bundled together. Customers have one interaction point. Content companies act like content studios have always acted and just sell to the highest bidder, which would likely be ESPN. And Disney comes out with a winning strategy. But what you don't need with those strategies is that's like ABC or the Disney Channel. You don't need those cable channels that are negotiating with cable companies every year because they're just not valuable like they used to be. I think this is what we're going to see over the next few years is Disney sell off a lot of those cable assets, even ABC. Those assets do have value to somebody else, but probably don't have value for the future of Disney. Look for Disney to be focusing on either creating content or delivering that content through its bundle of apps or maybe single app that it's going to have for consumers. I think that's where the future of Disney is. And these are veiled comments from Iger this week, but that's the way that I'm taking them. So we'll see what this looks like over the next few months and quarters. But I think in a lot of ways, this makes sense for Disney. The challenge for investors is going to take years to play out to get the value out of a lot of those changes, because the cash cow has been in the cable business for decades, and that's just going away. What do you think about what Disney announced and potentially breaking up the company? Love to hear your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.